Hello, welcome back to my American English podcast channel. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to read fast in English and finally stop feeling tired, slow, and frustrated when reading English texts. For many English learners, reading is the most exhausting skill. You open a book, a website, or an article, and at first everything looks fine. But after a few lines, your eyes get tired, your mind feels heavy, and your motivation slowly disappears. You understand the text, but it takes too much time. Sometimes one short page takes 10 or 15 minutes, and at the end you ask yourself, why am I so slow? This feeling is very common, and it has nothing to do with intelligence. Reading slowly in English does not mean you are weak. It simply means your brain is still learning how to process a new language. And the good news is this: speed is a skill. And skills can be trained. Most learners believe that fast reading is about knowing more vocabulary. Of course, vocabulary helps, but it is not the real reason native speakers read quickly. The real reason is how they read, not what they know. They don't read English the same way learners do. Many learners read English word by word. They stop at every new word. They think about grammar rules. They translate sentences into their native language. All of this slows the brain down. It is like driving a car and stopping every few seconds to check the map. You will never reach your destination smoothly. Native speakers do something very different. They read in meaning blocks. They don't look at single words. They look at ideas. Their eyes move smoothly across the page, and their brain focuses on understanding, not perfection. If you want to read faster in English, the first thing you must accept is this: you do not need to understand every word. This is difficult for many learners, because they are afraid of missing information. But fast reading is not about control. It is about trust. You must trust your brain. Your brain is smarter than you think. Even if you don't know one word, your brain can often guess the meaning from context. When you stop for every unknown word, you break your reading flow. Flow is everything. Once you lose it, reading becomes tiring and boring. But when you keep going, something interesting happens. Your brain starts connecting ideas automatically. Another important change is stopping translation. Translation feels safe, but it is the biggest enemy of speed. When you translate, your brain works twice. First it understands English, then it changes it into your language. This double process makes reading slow and exhausting. Instead of translating, try to understand the sentence directly in English. Ask yourself simple questions like: is this about a problem or a solution? Is this positive or negative? Is the writer explaining or giving an example? These questions help your brain stay in English mode. Eye movement is another key point. Many learners move their eyes very slowly when reading. They read one word, then the next, then the next. Fast readers train their eyes to see groups of words together. This skill is called chunk reading. For example, instead of reading /fast/ and /English/ is /difficult. A fast reader sees: reading fast in English is difficult. This may look simple, but it changes everything. When your eyes move faster, your brain follows. Another habit that slows reading is reading out loud in your head. Many learners hear every word as if they are speaking. This is natural, but it limits speed. Reading is not speaking. You don't need sound to understand meaning. Try to read silently and smoothly. Let the meaning come without sound. At first, this feels strange. But with time, it becomes natural and very powerful. Daily practice is more important than long practice. Reading for 10 minutes every day is much better than reading 1 hour once a week. Your brain learns through repetition, not pressure. Choose texts that are right for your level. If the text is too difficult, you will feel stressed. If it is too easy, you won't grow. B1 texts are perfect because they push you forward without breaking your confidence. A very effective method is timed reading. Set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes. Read continuously. Do not stop. Do not check the dictionary. Do not go back. When the time ends, stop reading and think about what you understood. This exercise teaches your brain to focus on meaning and speed, not mistakes. Topic choice also matters a lot. When you read about things you enjoy, your speed increases naturally. Interest keeps your brain active. Boring texts slow you down. Interesting texts pull you forward. Another powerful tip is rereading. The first time you read a text, you may feel slow. The second time, you are faster. The third time, everything feels easy. This is not cheating. This is training. Fast reading is not about rushing. It is about comfort. When reading feels comfortable, speed appears naturally. Many learners feel disappointed because they compare themselves to others. This is a mistake. Everyone's brain learns at a different speed. The only real comparison is with your past self. If today you read a little faster than last month, you are winning. Reading fast also helps your speaking. When you read more, your brain learns sentence patterns. You start speaking with better structure. You don't think about grammar. You feel it. Reading also improves your writing. You learn how ideas are connected. You learn transitions, common phrases, and natural expressions. In the beginning, reading English feels like climbing a mountain. Slow and hard. But after some time, it feels like walking on a road. And one day, you will notice something amazing: you are reading without thinking about reading. That is the moment when English becomes natural. So don't rush. Don't be angry with yourself. Train your brain gently. Trust the process. Read every day. And remember, speed comes from understanding, not pressure. If you stay consistent, reading fast in English will not be a dream. It will be your new normal.